Hi, this is Jennifer Sabatsky, and this is week assignment 2. How do people learn? How can learning theory inform teaching? First question, how do people learn and develop? Well, there are 4 different learning styles. There's visual, auditory, linguistic, kinesthetic. And all 4 of these learning styles have to do with your senses, is using your senses. So visual is a learner that learns best through using their eyesight. They understand the information based on images. Auditory learner learns best through audio and speaking. They repeat the information over and over again, and this helps process the information and gets transferred over. Linguistic is a learner that learns best from reading and writing. They're using their hands for writing. They're using their eyes for reading. So those are 2 ways how they process the information. And then there's kinesthetic learner. And this type of learner, they learn best through using the body and their sense of touch. So it's a hands-on experience. They're learning by actually doing. And that's how that type of learner processes the information. But people also learn through their environment, their cultural and social learning and associations and connections. Environment is using whether it's outdoor or indoor settings with a high stimuli. Learners learn best to process this information. There's cultural and social learning. So a learner processes the information based on what they learn from home, from their school, from their community all around them. And associations slash connections is how the learner processes the information by what they already have known and making that connection to the unknown. Question 2 is, how can my teaching and classroom environment support learning for understanding? Well, there's 3 ways. Classroom organization, organized educators, and organized curriculum. Classroom organization, you need to have a organized classroom because not only would this benefit for your students, for especially for visual and kinesthetic learners, it's going to help you as an educator be organized, and it's going to help your students get the benefit. Then whoever says about learning has to just be indoors, go outside, take a field trip, because that's going to help. It's going to bring learning alive and it's going to heighten the student's senses. Then, of course, there's the rich learning and tools and resources. Smartboard, laptop, tablet is how can you enhance that learning for your students? How can your students benefit from all the tools that you can have in your classroom? Organized educators is building a positive relationship with each student, because when you build that relationship, you understand what type of learner they are and how you could design that curriculum, that lesson, that activity for that learner. That also being said, you're creating a safe environment. You're creating a strong classroom management. There's peer collaboration with your colleagues. Maybe there's you could find out best practices that works in their room, and how can you bring it to your room? Is creating group tasks and activities, and of course bring that cultural diversity into the classroom. Organized curriculum. As an educator, you must be prepared, because then you're able to be ahead of your game. You're able to be prepared for what's next. And sometimes it's not going to go accordingly. So you need to be prepared of what steps you need to take further ahead. And this is also going to help your students as well. How can learning theory inform my teaching practice? Well, according to the learning classroom. A theory is both an explanation and a model of how things work. And of course, theories start out as research. They're based on observations and experiences. They're tested and then they're modified afterwards. They offer insight and explanation, and they are available as guidance. What makes a classroom successful starts out with the teacher. It's the knowledge of theories, as well as the personal knowledge and professional knowledge. That's how a teacher can create and organize content. Last but not least, how can interactions among the learner, the classroom environment, and the teaching/learning process produce motivation to learn and build strong learning communities? Teaching and learning process. Learning is continuous. It is up to us, the educator, to inspire our students, to motivate them, involve the students with the curriculum, whether it's lessons, whether it's implement activities. The transfer taught content is to model and to project. Interactions with the classroom environment is our responsibility to create that environment. Allow the students to think outside the box, strengthen their writing skills, solve problems, and make connections with knowledge. Last, but interactions with the learner. Not only peer collaboration is great for bouncing ideas and sharing with one another, it builds their confidence, their social skills, builds their self-esteem, and their academics. And that is week assignment 2.